3 new flat rides, 2 new coasters, and hundreds of new scenery pieces. This is the TOYBOX pack coming to Planet Coaster 2 soon. It does contain an F&N Thriller Kids coaster, very cool one, we talk more about that one soon. The Vekoma New Gen Inverted Suspended Coaster, oh my god, what a word. We have a exclusive water ride, a wave sim, we get the airdrop Toy Story thingy, and a high roll, very much likable little flat ride indeed. So, let's first of all have a look at the brand new trailer, because it's beautiful, and then talk about these things more in detail. Little note from the editor's room, you have heard myself alongside some other creators in this trailer. I'm not gonna reveal where that was, take a guess in the comments, we're gonna reveal when the pack actually drops. Now let's back to the video. Yes, so let's start with the airdrop tower, which is a very family friendly tower, drop tower kind of thing, which, you know, basically, you know that maybe from a Toy Story themed version in the real world, it's super easy going and a family ride. And I think it's pretty good because we are really having a bit of a lack on family rides in the game. So I'm a big fan of the fact that we do get one of these in the game. I'm looking forward to that one. By the way, we are going to talk about the pieces and the theme overall during the kind of overall rambling part after we talked about the specific rides, just so you know. But yeah, a very good run. Like it, you know, it doesn't crank me. But this one over here is very exciting. I thought this was a ride that we already had in Planet Coaster 1. I did double check and we did not, and then I did double check again, and I say, you know, that is a very cool one indeed. A very fan favorite, and also a very well-known one from fun fairs and stuff like that. So yeah, if you are into flat rides, and I know people have been complaining a lot about the fact that we need more flat rides, and here we go. I mean, I'm not sure what you guys do, but it seems like you guys place a lot of these ones, but I like this. It looks like a very good footprint. It's a bigger one, it's not a small one, but overall I think it's pretty compact and does do the thing pretty nicely. And as always, a D-themed one. You can talk about this the way you want, but I like the fact Frontier now goes with the completely unthemed idea of things. And now we come to the big one, the brand new first ever only swimsuit ride, if you will, the Wave Sim, and that looks fantastic. I've seen that a little bit in action during a behind closed doors event when we've been shown this pack in its all glory, you know, and they do all kind of different animations, so it's not a repetitive animation whatsoever. Kids can ride also on their very own, which is, I think, it's the second ride indeed after the slide, obviously, that they are capable of doing and riding on their complete own. But yeah, you can see very nice animations overall, very nice indeed. I'm a big fan of the fact having a dedicated ride for only people in swimsuits. Not because I particularly love this one, I'm a little bit split on it. It's nice, you know, but I'm like, yeah, you know, you need to be able to surf for that. Like, I'm happy that everyone in the Planko guest seemingly can do that, but, you know, I couldn't, and would it be so much fun for everyone? I don't know. But what I do like is the fact that they are seemingly focusing on water rides as well, like the swim pool, whatever related stuff as well, which I think is pretty good. It should really give us hope for the future as they hopefully go into way more kind of, you know, water related stuff, just like splash pads and all these kind of things, or water rides where you can shoot with water guns and stuff. Anyways, that brings us to the coasters. And we're starting with a coaster that I had to look for which manufacturer that is made of. The in-game call name is the F&N Thriller, and I think the official name is the E&F Miller Industries. I have no idea. They basically also have a lock flume ride in the game. That's all they have in the game. I am not aware of this manufacturer. You nerds out there will be potentially, but it seems like a very standard, almost like fun fair kids ride. In general, it seems like fun fair seems to be a bit of a thing going on for these things in the pack over here. A very nice look at one of the wooden pieces, by the way. The footprint of this coaster also look very nice. I am a big fan of the cars, I have to admit. They are very basic, very standard, very classic roller coaster tycoon, I must say. Like it's almost like giving me vibes of the roller coaster tycoon icon or thumbnail thingy that you have in there. Also, like obviously sparking the same colors. I don't know, it just screams roller coaster theme park for me. Big fan of it, big fan of the way they realized that. And again, as always, a de-themed version. And I am still a big fan of the fact that Frontier leaned into that. You know, they have heard our criticism so often, coming out with these hyper-themed coasters, and then you couldn't really do anything else but the theme they were going for, which I don't know what it would be for a TOYBOX theme, but yeah, this brings us to the last one in the pack, and potentially the most thrilling one of all of these. It's the new gen Vekoma SLC, and people were asking for that one as well a lot, which specifically, for me personally, this then is the first time we have the track in-game that theoretically would also be featuring Fly. And there's already one thing I was noticing. The real one, there's only one version in the world existing of this ride, which is, I believe, the Jimmy Neutron coaster. And in difference to that one, the coaster cars seem to be static, which helps by keeping it static, rotating around these things. So it's not like waving as the real one is. I believe it is, I guess. So that's the first thing I noticed, but I think that the track design and the ride design, specifically the car design, is really spot on. It looks really fantastic. I think I'm going to use this one right away. I was about to build a inverted coaster relatively soon in one of my parks anyways, but I was like, I didn't want to go for an old one or an B&M again, because I've been building B&M inverteds way too much and way too often, so I'm very happy to finally have a different option for an inverted coaster I wanted to build for a while now. So definitely going to go with this one. I think the choice of rides in this pack is really, they're really good, you know. They're really, really good rides. I must admit, I'm almost saying I like the rides more than in the Sorcery pack. However, the Sorcery pack came with a brilliant amount of pieces, so let's talk about that. Because in this game, we have obviously the TOYBOX set, and this is inspired by kids' rooms and a lot of the things in there. And I saw it the very first time already a month ago in the offices of Frontier, only as a concept art, and a lot of the things that were coming we were talking about, so that has been pretty cool indeed, and I had to shut my mouth about that for a long time. But I also had the opportunity to think about this for a longer time, because my first reaction was like, that's an interesting theme, and I had no idea about the rides. So I have to say, the first thing is that I believe the rides they did, they're really cool for this one. I think I would rate them even over the Sorcery pack. It's got a good variety. We've got a kids coaster, we've got a thrilling coaster, and to be frankly honest, in the last pack we've got two coasters of kind of the same, the raid coaster and the bike car coaster. Technically, are they just kind of changing, you know, the car, I guess, in a way. But other than that, the two flat rides we had, the one I love, the cinema kind of thing, is the flying one is brilliant, but it's humongous. It's insanely big. And that other swing thing, I don't know what would literally kill me, is again super humongous. So having now a dedicated wave rider for the people in the pools, and having the chance now to have a smaller footprint, typical funfair ride, and a family tower, I think is a very good choice. From ride side of things, definitely love this more. But the pieces, except the fact they will be hundreds of pieces, way more pieces, I believe, as in the Sorcery pack, a million decals, super generic pieces, wooden pieces, kind of glue blobs or whatever, super nicely made, but I'm not entirely sure how versatile they will be. I think they will be as versatile as you can get with pieces if you're good at it, I guess, but they're not like super leaning into a theme. Like, people were asking for horror themes, people were asking for Halloween, whatnot. This is a theme where you have to get creative. I think it's inherently the thing that makes kids play is their playfulness and their imagination, which making these toy blocks and toy pieces exactly needs this from you. It needs you to get creative, and it needs you to do what you think you can do with these things. and therefore these blocks are perfect. But the question is there anything in the game that you couldn't do before? And I think this is a hard one to answer. The pack is done beautifully. I've seen this in the game. We've gone, in the game is not particularly right, but we've seen a very long tour of them touring through in these kind of behind closed doors event. And they've really shown a lot of the pieces, a lot of the animatronics. They are brilliantly made. Now with the ability to scale animatronics, that's going to be very, very amazing. So all over, I think the amount of pieces and what you get for the money is great, but I'm not entirely sure where this is leading if you want to do certain builds yourself from a different theme and you're like, I'm just gonna click together the theme. This might not be the pack for you because you just can't go and have like, oh yeah, this is a sorcery tower and I'm gonna make a sorcery tower out of this now. Or this is, let's say, a studios build and this is like a studios hall. No, this is more like very playful, you know, you can do whatever you want with the set. You can build like a classic kind of city, as you can see over here, but you could also do like a magical kind of, I don't know, castle. You can really go into the fantasy realms, whatever. You can literally do whatever you think you can do, which again is very much down to what kids do. I think I like that. I personally love that. I just wanted to make you aware of the fact that this is not necessarily a pack that is super obvious for what you can do with it. But the amount of pieces and the stickers and stuff, they are great. I'm just like, the only thing I'm a little bit worried about is that all the decals will potentially be on the more kids side of things. So not sure if you can reuse them for different purposes, but I'm saying that without really having my hands on it. So maybe I'm wrong and I can do much more with it. But you know, rating this now from what I've seen in that behind closed doors, it's a kind of a weird word, behind closed doors event, but this like preview event, I liked what I've seen because the scene, they have put this together very, very much in a super nice way. I have to really congrats Frontier for whatever they're doing, but their builds have become so good and so nicely done lately that they really showcase what you can do with these things very nicely indeed. So yeah, I think it's a very fun pack. In my opinion, a super unexpected one. I've not seen them doing a TOYBOX pack. Not whatsoever. I was really, really, really surprised when they named the pack that is coming in that event a month ago. I was really like, oh, wow, that's a surprise. And for me personally, it comes in as a positive surprise because, and I know it's a stretch, but I guarantee you, I have no idea now what's coming up next. This is literally what we have heard in the Frontier event back at the offices, but now I'm blank, you know, there's nothing else left. However, my guess would be that this leaves them space for some proper packs next year that goes more into the typical kind of theme park vibes. But also, they face the problem that they have already done quite some very decent theme park packs in Planet Coaster 1, what they kind of need to avoid in a way. You know, doing a Studios pack, what many people would love to see now, would also call people that would name them very, very boring and just repetitive or not. So they have to come up with original stuff, and this is original. This pack over here is very original, and I'm hoping that they carry that over for next year and giving us a lot of other original things, leaning towards a lot of other things, and maybe in spring more for the pool kind of thing. I don't know, but I'm positive for the future. All I want to say now is, it's not a bad pack whatsoever. It's a great pack, I think. It's definitely been fun to look at. It's fun to look around and have a look at all the material we've been sent. And I cannot wait to get my hands on it. I think that's a good sign, isn't it? But what do you think about the pack? I truthfully think it's a good pack and a very well addition to the game, especially when it comes to the ride, but the rides in here. But yeah, let me know what you think of it. I'm hyped and I cannot wait to show more of that. So let me know in the comments what you think, and if you want to have all the updates and blah blah blah, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. There's a lot coming this week, I promise. Until then, have a good one, and bye.